Breaking news today. Putin will not be attending the G20 summit in India next month. President Putin informed Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday that Russia will be represented at the G20 summit in New Delhi by its foreign minister. The two leaders also discussed bilateral ties. The two leaders also discussed the upcoming G20 summit in New Delhi and the planned expansion of the BRICS group of emerging economies, which includes India, Russia, China, Brazil, and South Africa. Russian President Vladimir Putin attended last week's BRICS summit in South Africa via video link due to an arrest warrant issued by the International Criminal Court, ICC, for him on charges of war crimes committed in Ukraine. The Kremlin has announced that Putin will not be attending the G20 meeting in India, despite their strong denial of the ICC allegations. Putin informed Modi. According to a statement released by the Indian government, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov would be attending the talks. PM thanked President Putin for Russia's consistent support to all initiatives under India's G20 presidency, the Indian government said, adding that India understood Russia's decision. After its invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 triggered widespread Western sanctions on Moscow, Russia has sought to further strengthen already warm ties with India. Oil from Russia is a major export to India. A statement from the Kremlin said that they discussed topical issues of Russian-Indian relations, which are progressively developing in the spirit of a particularly privileged strategic partnership, during the call. In addition, the positive dynamics of trade and economic cooperation was affirmed, it said. This month, both Russia and India sent lunar probes into space, but only India's landed safely on the moon. A spokesman for Erdogan's party said Monday that the Turkish president would visit Russia soon to revive a deal to ship grain across the Black Sea. The spokesman for Erdogan's ruling party, Ömer Çelik, told reporters that the meeting would take place in the Russian resort city of Sochi, and that Turkey hoped to prevent an impending food crisis by attending. Prior to Erdogan's trip to New Delhi for the G20 summit, Bloomberg reported that he and the Russian president might have a meeting on September 8. Dmitry Peskov, a spokesman for the Kremlin, told reporters that arrangements were being made intensively for a meeting but did not specify when or where it would take place. Erdogan has been making use of his positive relationships with Moscow and Kyiv to facilitate formal peace talks between the warring parties. A deal to transport grain from 3 Ukrainian ports across the Black Sea was the only major agreement signed by the warring sides since the invasion in February 2022, and it was negotiated with Turkey's assistance. Last month, Russia sabotaged the UN-backed agreement by attacking Ukrainian port infrastructure multiple times and threatening to consider any ships in the Black Sea as potential military targets. Erdogan is making an effort to bring life back to the pact in the hopes that it can serve as a stepping stone to broader peace talks.